Hello, hello, hello. So today, this is a practical session that we do once every month on Adapt and Advance series. And today, this particular one is dated event. Every single month, we talked about something that has to do with the date in that month. So February, I talked about the loss of my mom. We died February 13th, and lessons we could learn from it to keep coping with life. And March, I talked about my graduation, March 2003, lessons I learned coping in medical school. Today, we'll be talking about, this is April 2025, and we'll be talking about a specific dated event that is not related to me as a person, but that is very important to us in the United States as a nation, which is the death of Martin Luther King Jr. on April 4th, I think. So hopefully you get this video released sometimes in the month of April, in the next few days. And so we'll be looking at lessons that we can learn from the life of Martin Luther King Jr. So using the story of Martin Luther King Jr., who died April 4th, 1968, today we'll be looking at the MAPLAN principles, lessons that we can learn from him, and things that can help us to improve our lives and help us to adapt and advance as we even go through life and we have different situations and circumstances or challenges come to us. So I've started with MAPLAN principle, M meaning making from situations and circumstances. Typically, I use the story of a successful person in M, or quotes by famous people or influential people. I'll start today with a quote. And I'm going to pick a quote from Martin Luther King Jr. Our lives begin to end the day we fail to talk about the things that matter. Our lives begin to end the day we fail or we become silent about the things that matter. What does this tell us is we should not fail to talk about the things that are important. How we talk about it, that's the lesson we're going to learn from today, because we are talking about pain into purpose using Martin Luther King's story. So he talked about the things that matter. He did not keep silent about the things that matter. And how does this apply to you as a person, or even to all of us as a nation, as a people? It's important for us to talk about the things that matter. It's important not to keep silent about the things that matter. But just like we are learning today from Martin Luther King Jr., how we go about it is very, very important. So Martin Luther King Jr.'s movement made meaning from suffering and injustice. So at times, we go through difficult situations and circumstances. At times we have injustices occur to us. At times we go through very difficult circumstances and very difficult situations in life. One way to make meaning from it all is understand that people have been through similar situations in life and they were able to navigate the situations. You can learn from those people, and you can, through what they did, also learn the principles that will help you do what is right to get out of that situations or to manage. Some we can get out of, where we can manage. Some we can get out of with the necessary important steps of our lives and destiny. And how did Martin Luther King Jr. go about it with the movement? It's by non-violent resistance and spiritual conviction. Those are two key things which we can all apply to our lives. Non-violent resistance. I'm going to be sharing my story in a little bit of my story, like I always do in each video. You could use non-violent resistance to manage suffering or pain that you are going through. And you can also use spiritual conviction. I use those two personally at some point of my life when things were very, very rough, especially after I just lost both parents and things were hard, and very close relatives were very mean. And I had to make a sense of everything. Those two things were very important to me. One, non-violent resistance. Two, deep spiritual conviction. Specifically, Martin Luther King Jr., for example, used the Montgomery bus boycott, uh, being inspired both by Gandhi and also inspired by Jesus as confronting evil with love, confronting evil with love, confronting evil with good. So the Montgomery bus boycott was more of confronting evil with love and with good, and drawing strength from Jesus Christ, drawing strength from Mahatma Gandhi. So let's move now to A, which is massive action. M is meaning making. We talk about quotes, we talk about the success by Martin Luther King Jr. Of his movement. And now we're moving to A, which is action. Like we always say, we've got to take massive actions if we are going to succeed in life. And one quote that comes to mind here is, success is the best revenge. And I said I was going to share a little bit of my story as a teenager when after losing my mom at very early at 7, losing my dad at 13. Things were very hard. Very close relatives were like main, very main. And I'm really, really grateful for the wisdom, which I'm going to talk about from Alliance. There was this woman of blessed memory now, may God bless her memory, who I learned a lot of wisdom of using non-violence resistance. Her name is Lydia Abatunde. Was my uncle's wife, and very close to my mother. So she had very close emotional tie to me. They both went to School of Nursing together in Sokoto in Nigeria. And it was through her that my dad got to know my mom and eventually married my mom. So she had very deep emotional connection to me. And one of the biggest advice she gave me, we call her Iya Okeode. One of the biggest advice she gave me as a teenager, around 14, 15, 16, she opened that door to me. She was very close to me, was non-violent resistance. And this principle of success is the best revenge. So I didn't really confront them in a violent way, those that were mean. All I just did was focus on my success or my future success at that time, at the age of 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19-ish. I focused on my success. I'm like, success is the best revenge. So whenever I had to talk with the main people, all I talked about was what I wanted to do, what I wanted to achieve, and how they can help me achieve it. And when I talked to good people too, I said the same thing. And, fine, they did, some of them, the good ones did the best they could. The ones that wanted to be mean, some remained mean, and some still did whatever they could. But in a non-threatening way, I focused on where I was going, and I'm glad I did that at that time. So bringing this home under action to some of the things specifically that Martin Luther King Jr. did with the movement was sit-ins, there were bus boycotts, there were freedom rides, marches, and all of that, non-violent, and eventually it worked. But focusing on the thing. So we have to be careful when we're going through difficult situations or going through a lot of pain, to take steps that would help us, especially for our individual lives, that will help us focus mainly on getting out of that pain or managing that pain in a successful way. So our focus should not be just so much of retaliation. Our focus should not be so much of, like I said, at times revenge is taking poisons. There's a wise saying that, like, taking poison and hoping it hurts somebody else. We need to be very careful with that. So at times we have to focus more on how to successfully get out of the situation, and let our major intention be getting out of this in a successful way. So planning, which is the third letter in MAPLAMP. So in terms of Martin Luther King Jr., behind every protest was strategic planning, selecting leaders, discussing non-violent ways to go, coordinating legal support and stuff like that. Again, we're bringing this to our personal lives. What can I learn from this? You have to strategically plan how to organize getting out of the pain you are right now. You have to select leaders. So for me, like the example I gave us when I was a teenager, I recognized people that had good intentions based on their actions and their words, and I gravitated more towards them and learned wisdom from them. So I selected them as the leader of my life at that time, and I learned from them, and I let them direct the course of my life. From some of them, I learned, non-violent, non-threatening way to address situation. Selecting leaders, training in non-violence. Of course, we've got to learn how to train ourselves in non-violence. We've got to coordinate legal support if you have to. I didn't do much of that personally, but depending on the situation you are into, you could, for example, maybe experiencing divorce, or maybe experiencing, whatever it is that need legal action, you might need to get legal counsel that you need to. And timing too is very important in every single step that you take. When is the best time to take action? When is the best time to retreat? So for L, which is learning, from Martin Luther, the movement was a school on leadership for all the people that were involved. A lot of teaching, a lot of leading was going on. For me, as a person today, close to maybe 70, 80 years after his death now, I learned a lot by reading this book, Parting the Waters. It's a very big book. I'm still reading it, and learning from his life and legacy. What can I learn from him that I can apply to my own life as a person and apply to the things that I do? So I encourage you, if you're a student of history, to go through this, learn more about the movement and how you can implement it now in your own life, or even whatever you're doing. Maybe if you're a politician or whatever you're doing right now, that could be helpful for you. For me, it's just mainly my personal life and whatever God has committed into my hands, my job, and also this that I'm doing, which is kind of like side to what I do primarily. So you can learn something from someone, you can learn from the movement. Alliance formation, which is the next A in the map lamp, is very important. Of course, Martin Luther King Jr. didn't do this alone. He worked with a lot of people, denominations. He worked across racial groups, political lines. He was able to rally people around. So whatever you do, you've got to rally around you people that can help you. And bringing that to my own personal story as a teenager, I had to rally people around me. Like I told you about the story of Lydia, who is late now. I rallied her. I went to her whenever I have the opportunity during holidays, learned a lot from her, taught me non-threatening ways to handle situations and issues. She was not the only one. Many other people, that were there for me at that time. Justice Collier today, who was like the one that took the bulkest of helping me, especially after high school. And I'm forever grateful to her. She was also there for me at all times, opened that door to me at all times, gave me wisdom on how to handle situations, and many other people I cannot mention. So many people were helpful to me at different stages of my life. So you got to form alliance with people that will help you, and use wisdom and the best of wisdom to manage the situations you find yourself in. Mission statements, specifically for Martin Luther, we need to read this. He said to achieve justice and equal rights for all Americans through nonviolence, faith, and unity. Nonviolence, faith, and unity. So you could also have a mission statement similar to this. For us, as an Adapt and Advanced family, our mission statement is to be the best version of ourselves overall, through increasing in success and value daily, and being the best, by being a blessing to people on our path. Everybody that you come across, you try your best to be a blessing to them. Even just by smiling to someone, you could make somebody's day, or lighten somebody's weight or challenges they might be going through. Everywhere you find yourself, in your community, in your church, in place of work, go out of the way to be a blessing to people that are around you as much as you can. And you get everything you want by helping somebody achieve what they want. Finally, today's prayers: commit your ways into the hand of the Lord, and you would establish your path. That's Proverbs 16:3. So I will encourage you to commit your ways to God. Pray about everything you are going through, and I believe God is going to help you. Thank you for watching this video. I believe you've learned something. today from the life of Martin Luther King Jr. and his movement. And I hope that you can apply these principles to your own personal life or to the things that you're doing that are committed to you. And I wish you the best in everything you do. Thanks for watching. Please remember to like this video. Remember to share in the comments what resonates with you the most, and share it on social media widely. And I hope this be a blessing to as many people as possible. Remember, our mission statement is to be the best version of ourselves and to be a blessing to people around us. So please, let's all do that one way or the other. And finally, don't forget my book will be released, Adapt and Advance, Faith-Based Principles to Turn Trials to Triumphs, will be released a few weeks from now, May 2025. As soon as it's released, I'm going to let you know how to get it and how you can help and to be a part of this cause, to be a blessing to as many people all over the world. Thank you so much and have a wonderful time. Bye.